Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Friday, March 8th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got some NHL action here tonight. This Friday night, the Winnipeg Jets versus the Seattle Kraken. Right now, Winnipeg 39-17-5, second in the Central. Seattle Kraken 28-23-11, fifth in the Pacific, 4-1 in the last 5 games. This is going to be a tough one, but I think the Seattle Kraken fans are ready for the challenge. And we played them just a few days ago, and we were able to get the win against Winnipeg in their own arena. So I know they're going to be looking for some payback, but hopefully we can find a way to get the job done. I've been very excited about this particular matchup ever since I woke up this morning. And shout out to everyone watching on Twitter/X. Salute to you. Shout out to all the people that are watching in the room. I hope you guys had a fantastic Friday, and hopefully we can cap off this Friday with a Seattle Kraken win. And then I'm going to go to the Blazer game tomorrow night to go see the Raptors and the Blazers go at it. You know, obviously those teams are very, very bad, but it gives a chance for me to hang out with one of my best friends here in Oregon. We're going to go do an arcade at Ground Control in downtown Portland. It's a 2-story building that's got games from the 80s in the arcade machines all the way to stuff that's current that has come out within the last couple years. Like the last time we went there, they had a Time Crisis game with the guns, but it was like a 2024 version, like something I've never seen before with pedals and everything where you can shift from the left to the right. So I'm definitely excited to see what new games they got in there through the arcade world. And then we'll go get something to eat, something maybe on the pizza or a burger level, maybe downtown, unless we have a feeling for something else. And then we'll end up doing the Blazer game. So this will be the last stream until Sunday. And then once Sunday comes around, I'll look at the schedule, and then we'll decide what we're going to end up doing. Megan in the building, what's good? Daniel in the building, what's good? Sarah in the building, what's good? How are you? Let's go. Yeah, Blazers are terrible. But again, a lot of their players are injured. And again, it's, when you're a bottom 5 team and you're young, it's one thing. But when you're a bottom 5 team and you're young, and then all your young players are hurt, then you're really going to be bad. So obviously, it's more of just me and my best friend being able to spend some time together and hang out. And, I only really get to go out and do things like this with him about maybe 2 or 3 times a year. So we went to a Blazer game early a couple months ago, and we had a great time. And so this will probably be the last Blazer game that I go to this season. And most of the games haven't really been worth watching, to be honest. But when you go in person, it's a fun vibe. And I imagine both teams will go at it. And it's not going to be, anything spectacular. Obviously, for the Blazers and the Raptors, we already know what the state of the NBA is in. But it's going to be a fun day for me to be able to kind of take a day off and spend some time with my buddy. So, all right, baby. Kraken win 4-3 on Tuesday at the Jets. Can we find a way to be able to hold it down in net? I hope so. Let's go, baby. I had to hit you. Baby. Josh Morrissey on the left and Yanni Gord on the right. Let's go, baby. And make sure, everyone, you take care of your mental health. It's very, very important. If you're having a tough time, come here, and we definitely will make things better for y'all. Let's go. Yeah, preview of the NBA Finals, never. Toronto was lucky enough for them to even get there when they had Kawhi, and then they obviously took advantage. But, the closest the Blazers got was the Western Finals against the Warriors a couple years ago when they got swept, when we had the best bench in the league. And it shows you how good you really have to be in the West, and you have to be very, very good. I feel it's like a lot harder to get to the finals in the West than it is in the East, but still, it is what it is. But tonight, we got the Kraken and we got the Jets, and I'm definitely excited for this particular matchup. Reflect in the building. How are you? What's good? Yeah, he said Sonics are even worse when they're not even in existence yet. You know what, though? Once the Sonics come back, depending on who they end up getting, in their expansion draft and when they move their pieces over, there's no guarantee the Blazers are going to be any good anytime soon. And again, not a lot of free agents want to come here. We had Dame. Now we don't. So yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a couple guys on the team like Scoot Henderson and Shaden Sharp that I like, but unfortunately, that a lot of times that these guys are hurt. So we're definitely not going to the Blazer game to necessarily watch the Blazers. It's more of just to be able to spend time with each other. The main thing for us is actually going to ground control and going to the arcade. They got vintage pinball. They got vintage arcade games from the 80s and the 90s, and then they got some new stuff that's out there too. So food, maybe a beer or two, and they do serve beer and alcohol at this arcade, which is kind of cool. And who knows? Maybe there might be a stop by a dispensary there as well. We'll see. Yeah, I will get you a hack tie sighting as soon as I see it. Let's go. Let's go, baby. NHL spinning logo in full effect. I had to download it, re-download it. Hopefully it doesn't crap out and have the white background behind it. But if it does, we'll close it out. We'll open it back up and we'll be good to go. Let's go, baby. I'm excited. I usually don't get super excited in certain types of matchups because they make me a little uneasy. But the way that the Kraken have played as of late, since Gru came back, we're 4-1. So right now we're playing as good of hockey as anybody in the entire NHL. So as long as we can keep that confidence on that high level, we're going to start, making some ground, going from 6th place in the Pacific to 5th, and that's where we're at now. Next goal, move up to 4th, and then hopefully, if we can get on a nice little run, maybe, just maybe, we can get closer to 3rd. No guarantees, but again, a guy can always dream, right? Let's go. Yeah, I did see the Toffoli, and I've watched a lot of Devils games. Toffoli is a very good player. He may not be like a Jack Hughes, but he definitely is one of their key, contributing pieces, or was. So it shows me that Winnipeg is really serious, and they're trying to go on a deep run this year by picking up a big name like Toffoli to see if that might be the missing piece for them to go a little bit further, to compete with some of the other teams in the division. So they definitely got better in the deadline with the Kraken. I'm not really sure if we necessarily got worse, with letting Wenberg go and not getting a player in return. We got 2 draft picks, one for this year, one for next year, but no one that is physically playing, right now to help the Kraken win more games. So, we couldn't come to an agreement with Wenberg, but we did get the contract resolved with Ebbs. So nice to see Jordan Eberle, 2 years, $4.75 million, roughly, something like that. So it's really cool to see the OG guys stick around. And I don't think there's a Kraken fan out there that didn't want Ebbs to stay. So, we lost Wenberg. It hurts, but losing Jordan would have hurt even more. So I'm really happy that we got that done, and was maybe hoping for more moves or another player to come in, but, it is what it is. Whoa, look at that. Mr. Williams coming in to the room and laying the hammer down. I did not know Thor's hammer was going to come in the room just like this. Mr. Williams, I love you too, man. I appreciate you. And I know you don't give a shit about hockey, and you're just here to support me, support Paisley, and support the NWSF and the mods and the other people in the room. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you more than words can say. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me know what you want to do for photos. Would you look at that? Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. And I understand for, some people, finances have changed. Things have been a little bit different. We had a nice little run year and a half ago, 2 years ago. On some of the streams, we would hit $100 to $200, almost every day. But again, times change, jobs change, finances change. But one thing that's not going to change is the mentality of Mr. Williams. No matter, if things are going good, things are going so-so, things are going bad, he still goes out of his way, even, where he could spend money on himself. Yeah, maybe I want to go to Disneyland. Maybe I want to go to an Angels game or a Dodgers game. And then to be able to sacrifice a little bit of your fun time and things for yourself to be able to make sure that I can stay afloat and continue this dream. Thank you so much, man. And Twitter/X, shout out to all the people watching there. Mr. Williams, let me know what you want to do for photos. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Man, I miss you, and I appreciate you. Hey, and we already know it's going to be for the mental health. And again, the biggest battles that you're going to be able to go through day in and day out is with yourself. So if you can find a way to check off the boxes when you know that you're starting to slip, Like, even if that means coming in here for 15, 20 minutes and just being able to talk it out, I guarantee that we'll be able to make things better than where you're currently sitting at the moment. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's go, Winnipeg Jets, Seattle Kraken. Mr. Williams in the building, holding it down. Thank you so much. And again, if it wasn't for people like Mr. Williams, like Megan, like Reflect, like Cyberpunk, and many, many others, it would be very, very tough. So thank you for not giving up. Thank you for staying loyal. And I appreciate you full and full through and through. Oh, air quality's not good. Yeah, I've been still going on walks, but weather was actually beautiful here, almost 60 degrees. It's the first time I wore shorts while I ended up walking Paisley today. Joey DeCord, 37 starts, 17, 12, and 10 record, 2.47 GAA, 918 save percentage. Laurent Brossard, 16 starts, 10, 4, and 2, 2.24 in the GAA. Let's go. Yes, Mr. Williams, always being a Mr. Williams, being a GOAT. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Miss you too. And I know, you've gone through some ups and you've gone through some downs, but I really appreciate the loyalty. You have no idea how much that means to me because, again, some of the old school mods, don't show up as much as they used to or not at all. So we need others to be able to step for those people. And you definitely have stepped up and we appreciate you. Megan with a 50. Let's go. Not surprised by the Kraken staying put. Uncle Ron wants to hold the team together and build the team. Will be interesting to see who we get with the second round pick this year. Release the Kraken. $50 holla. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we already got puck drop. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. Thank you to the two of you. You guys are amazing. I love you. I appreciate you. Wrench gang in the building. And again, let me know what you guys want to do for photos. And I got you. And it makes me feel good because, again, sometimes, we'll have some challenging days, where we may hit, less than 20 in donos, maybe less than 15, less than 10. Hell, there might be some streams where we hit 0, but I can always count on the goats to make sure that doesn't happen, as often as it should. And I appreciate you guys very, very much. What's your timetable right now, Mr. Williams? Do you have to go to work? Are you at work right now? Is there any photos that I can put up for you before you have to go? Because I assume that you're probably not going to be able to stay in the room here. And I know you're not really that big into hockey, so I wouldn't assume for you to stay here with me for 2 hours and 30 minutes. But if you could stay, that would be awesome. But if you can't, I totally understand. But if there is any photos that two of you would like before you have to go, just let me know before you have to go so that way I can show my proper love and appreciation. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate y'all. Mr. Williams. Kevin Dobson, good one. You know what, Mr. Williams? You have such good timing just because, like, where my bills are sitting right now. And then I'm finally going to go out to be able to hang out with, like, my best friend, Justin. And we're going to go to ground control. And I was telling him, it's kind of ironic that this is all happening today. It's kind of ironic because I was telling my buddy, I was like, I don't got no money, man. Like, I know you already got the Blazer tickets. We're going to go to the arcade. And I know he'll cover for me until, I pay him back and whatnot, or he'll just do it on him. But I always try to make sure that, at least I have something to contribute. And I was telling him, it's like, because if I have bills that need to be paid, those are always going to be a priority for me. I never just say, fuck that bill. I'm just going to have a good time and then worry about it later. I never do that. I always try to be responsible because I just don't know how things are going to, play out from, game in, game out, stream in, and stream out. So thank you so much, man. And again, this will definitely help out with some bills because I have the internet bill that is, I believe it's coming tomorrow? No, 2 days from now. It's on Sunday. So you got impeccable timing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then now, if I actually wanted to maybe buy a gift for a young female at the game like I did last time, when we ended up having like the winning row, and it was one row behind me, and in one row in front of me, this girl was dancing and cheering, having a great time. She could have been no older than 10 to 12 years old. And then I looked at the guy behind me that didn't even want the little gift, which was like a clear little tote bag or little what are those fanny packs and whatnot, like blazer, type thing. He didn't even want it. And then the woman kept asking him over and over and over. So then I turned around and said, hey, can I buy one of these off of you? And like I said, it's probably only worth like $10, but I would have probably paid 20 for it. But then he was a kind of an asshole. And he was like, no. I was like, I just want to get one for this girl here in front of us. And he was an asshole. So I was like, you know what? If you're going to be an asshole, I'm just going to go to the team store and I would buy something cooler for her. So then I spent $35 and got her a beanie. And, to be able to see the smile on her face definitely made me feel good. And, it definitely restores a little faith out there that, you don't have to be an asshole, entitled fan, especially when what are you going to be doing with some fucking fanny pack at the end of the game? It's going in the garbage or going in a drawer. But that young female, she might have been able to put some makeup in it, maybe take it to school and actually have a little happiness in her life. So, anytime you can do something small like that, it really does go a long way. And shout out to all the females that are in the room. Shout out them watching on Twitter/X and in the room. And obviously embracing Female Day, Women in Hockey Night tonight. They did that little throwback jersey with the white, with the fish in the front. Shout out to all the females that enjoy sports and wrestling. And like I said, we're trying to get our female support up higher and higher. And it was at one point on my channel years ago, 99% guys, 1% female. And with a lot of hard work and dedication to get rid of all the trolls and the haters, we've gotten it to 85% men, 15% women on the channel. So that makes me feel very, very happy. Let's go. Mr. Williams with a hundo. Megan with a 50. Mr. Williams with another hundo. He's making sure that I'm going to be okay with the Bills and making sure that at least I can be all right here for the next few days. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. And again, when you end up getting someone that supports in the manner of what typically we get from like a Mr. Williams or a Megan or a Cyberpunk, one dono typically leads to another, and that's how it goes. And the same thing goes when sometimes the support is a little lean and a little light. If you don't get any donos in the first hour and a half, it's really hard to be able to hit goals if you don't have anyone starting the dono train. So thank you to Mr. Williams and Megan for starting the dono train. And thank you for, even if things are a little bit tighter, and I know a lot of your extra funds and your play money is overtime, and they have been kind of messing with your overtime. So a lot of these extra dollars that you are supporting the channel with would be dollars that you would be using to pay bills or have fun by doing activities with you and obviously the people that are close to you there in California. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you more than you know. Let's go. You guys are amazing. That definitely, is a lot better feeling than hitting like a 0, 2 or 3 streams in a row. So thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And let me get the Dotson up because I know you probably got to get going here real quick. So let's throw that up here for Mr. Williams. And that was a good signing. I think that I know some people think that maybe they overpaid. But again, if you realize the importance of offensive line, I don't necessarily think you're going to be overpaying. I mean, if you believe in the player and you think that they're going to be a good fit for the team and they've proven, that they are a staple, sometimes you can reward the player and give them a little bit more than maybe they currently deserve because you've seen the hard work that they put in the training room, the weight room, mentoring the other offensive linemen and whatnot, as my NHL logo needs to be refreshed. Bang, bang. There we go. But I appreciate you. And I got you an NFL. Switch it to the NFL logo. Let's go. Open that checkbook, baby. Yes. Yes. It's very cool. And it's cool to be able to see more women getting jobs, not only in the NHL, but in the NBA, MLB, and the NFL, and in college football too. So it's very cool. And it's not just, she's a massage therapist. No. Some of these ladies are doing stats and analytics. Sometimes, they're in charge of business management. So it's not just, they're a massage therapist, because a lot of the massage therapists, they'd be kind of even, some female, some male, right? But a lot of them will have the female massage therapist, for their team doctor or team massage therapist, but it's much more than that. You get people that are managers, you got people that are higher ups on the business side, you got people doing the stats and the analytics, you got people handling the social media teams and the posts. So, with their artistic ability based off being able to do graphics and graphic design. So it's very cool to be able to see these young women and females get recognized. And I think it's really cool that they're actually doing the NHL Women's Hockey Appreciation Day today. Shout out to all the females and all the women that are watching here on Twitter/X, as well as in the room. And another thing about that too is that I can't speak for other channels, but for as far as our channel through the NWSF, we got some of the smartest young females and women that actually know sports and wrestling. If we ended up having a sports Jeopardy against any other channel, I don't care who it is that does sports or wrestling, we would obliterate everybody. And that's a token to how much you guys care about what's going on in sports and wrestling on the daily. Love you and I appreciate you. Let me see if I can throw up a couple more for you here since you might have to go. Give me a sec here, bro. Still a 0-0, 4 shots on goal for the Kraken, 3 for the Jets. Anybody else that you want to be able to see, brother? God, I love that NFL spinning logo too, and it also spins like the opposite way. Woo, baby! Let's go, baby. Ramily in the building. Thank you for always being honest and loyal and always being loyal to the soil, my guy. And we know mental health is the most important thing. A lot of times you and me, Mr. Williams, have helped each other out when we've been in dark places. We both have had depression and anxiety. We both have tried to check up on each other when things were tight and not maybe the greatest, right? But we always made sure, whether me doing videos that help give you a boost of, of a good mental health, and then later on, actually having more of a friendship bond and relationship instead of just being a fan of me and the channel. A lot of people will start off as fans, but they go from fans to friends, and then we turn into family. 4 shots on goal. Good save. 13 minutes and counting in the first period. We're knotted up at 0, baby. And I'll get Hack. Okay, I got you. Absolutely. We'll mix in a little hockey, a little Call of Duty, and a little Jay-Z and Steve. Absolutely, we will. Kraken crowd is very energetic, and it's more than just celebrating the women here. We beat Winnipeg in Winnipeg, and maybe a lot of fans thought we would get our ass kicked in that game, but we're as hot as anybody right now. 4-1 in the last 5 games, and a big part of that, right? A big part of that is Philip Grubauer and Joey Daccord. If we didn't have good consistency in net, there's no way that we would be 4-1. Realistically, we'd be probably 1-4. So shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. $100 dono from my guy, Mr. Williams. $50 dono from Megan. And then another $100 dono from Mr. Williams. I'm going to make sure we keep that up there. Let everyone know the goats in the room and who is loyal to the soil, making sure that I am going to be okay by doing this stream so that I can take care of Paisley and I can take care of y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I ended up just getting a bag of dog food for Paisley, which was like $83. So, it's going to definitely help, as everyone knows, when you're doing something that you love and you're grinding on something full time, you can't ever expect, anything. You can have goals, you know what I mean? But again, when you end up being a streamer and you're on YouTube, there is no guarantee on what you're going to end up getting at the end of the day. It is not a regular job. Like when a lot of y'all, you'll clock in, clock out, 9 to 5. You're getting paid $20 an hour. So you already know what you're getting per day, per week, at the end of the month. But when you're a streamer, you have no idea of where you're going to be at from day in and day out. So thank you so much. I love you guys and I appreciate y'all. No hack tie sighting just yet, but I'm keeping my peripherals. I got my peripherals on that. But let me get a couple more here because I'm not sure how long he'll be in, and then we'll get some more for you here in just a second. See how many I can squeeze in here. Let's go, baby. It's going to be a nice rivalry for years to come for the Rams, Seahawks, and Niners, baby. Appreciate you very much, bro. Arch in the building. How are you? What's good, brother? I hope you're having a great day. Mr. Williams, how long do you have before you have to go? Are you leaving right now, or how much time do I have with you before you go? Because it's like because even if you came in and donated, nothing, and things were tight, it's always a pleasure to be able to have you in the room and hang out. And there's going to be times where things are tight and you're just not going to be able to donate. But as you know, even if you can't, come through. It's always good to talk to you and to kind of check up on you and see what's going on in your life there in Cali. So, anytime you have a chance to come in, even if you can't donate, come through. Even if it's only a quick 5 minutes, hey, I got to go, but I just wanted to drop in and say hello because not only do I appreciate you, I know a lot of the goats and the mods, they really love you and appreciate you too. And they see what you do for the channel, a month in and month out. So I love you and appreciate you. Oh, you're going to chill? Nice. All right. Well, think of some more Rams players for me to throw up, and then we'll get Megan's Kraken players and some Seahawk players up, and then we'll go back to you here in just a second. 14-11-5 record at home this season for the Seattle Kraken, and this is going to be a very difficult game for the Kraken to be able to win, but I feel pretty confident that we should be able to hang with them, and if we can get off to a fast start and get an early goal in this first period, that might be the momentum that we need to be able to keep that Uncle Mo going in the second and the third. Oh yeah, Kyron's going to be great. The Notre Dame players, in the last couple of years, some of them have been kind of slept on a little bit, and I feel that people knew who Kyron was, but I don't think that they anticipated him being used that way and in that type of role, and also showing out and playing better than people expected. So a lot of it, again, it is Sean McVay, Tutu Atwell, Puka Nakua, Kyron Williams. I mean, these guys are extremely young. Go, baby. Go. Oh, poked away. I thought we were going to have a one-on-one right there. But, it's not only just the players, but sometimes it's the system, the supporting cast, and also Sean McVay. And as everyone knows, I'm a big fan of Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan. Shanahan just can't get over the hump. And the only way that they're going to be able to get over the hump is if they end up having a top 5 QB, or if they stick with Brock Purdy, you play anybody in the Super Bowl other than the Kansas City Chiefs. And if that happens, then you may end up winning a Super Bowl. But if you keep lining up against the Chiefs every time, it's not looking too pretty for the San Francisco 49ers. So 6 shots on goal for both. Thank you to the two of you. You guys are a godsend. And, like I said, I was getting a little nervous too, because anytime when I see like bills that are going to be coming to be due, and then also some people donate, on the super chat and some do it on the Cash App. And so it's like sometimes, the super chat is great because then that adds the total to next month, when I end up getting my, monthly rounds, through YouTube and Google. But then also you're going to need money, at least right now, to survive, to be able to, pay bills or whatever, go get something to eat or do whatever you need to do. So thank you so much for being as generous as you are. And a little bit even higher, because a lot of times it'll be like 50 and 50, 75 and 75. So Mr. Williams is definitely getting into his bag, and it means a lot because I know how hard you work and how much effort you put into everything that you do. And again, you need to treat yourself, and I know you do. And I just really appreciate, even with some of the things with your work, with maybe some of your overtime hours and some of your play money, getting a little bit restricted. Thank you of thinking of me. And, I will always be forever grateful for the people that take care of me on this channel. And I promise when things end up getting really, really good, whether that be in a couple years or however long it takes, I will never forget about the people that took care of me in these situations like this. And I definitely will make sure that I will end up getting you back. And, down the road, you'll end up having a package on your door and there'll be some kind of amazing Mitchell and Ness jersey. And you'll be like, where is this from? And you're like, oh, Oregon. And then you're going to know it's going to be from me. So I love you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, but it's also good because, again, I'm going to have enough people like Mr. Williams and Cyberpunk and the people in the States that can do the Cash App. So it actually is good that we have someone that is a GOAT and a heavy hitter and someone that really loves and appreciates the channel and what we're doing. So it actually is really good that, at least for your sake, it's not a big deal that you can't do Cash App because you're in Australia. So We got less than 9 minutes to go in the first period. Still knotted up at 0. 7 shots on goal for the Jets, 6 for the Kraken. Anticipation, it seems like, by the Kraken passes have been pretty good. You got Joey Decord in net, head on a swivel. And like I said, the crowd is into it. And again, we already know going into this matchup that, they're a second place team in their division. We're in 5th. So we moved up from 6th to 5th, but we still got a long ways to go if we're going to be considered a wild card team. And hopefully we can get there. Let's go, baby. Of course, that's what friends do. Friends support each other. You put out a post, and then you share it, and you support each other. Oh my, yeah. And like I said, you got to make sure you take care of you. You are, you're the only one that's going to be able to control everything that's going on, and you want to make sure that you're feeling as good as you possibly can. So, 8:16 left in the first period, knotted up at 0. Let's go, baby. Appreciate you, goats. Before the stream started, and we're only 30 minutes in, and we're at a fantastic pace. Thank you to the two of you and everyone watching on Twitter/X and in the room. But a special thanks to Megan and Mr. Williams. A nice boost for my mental health today. Thank you two for being electric. I love you and appreciate you. Let's go. All right, less than 8 minutes to go. Pretty even right now. 7 shots on goal for the Jets, 6 for the Kraken. No real big fights or anything like that. I don't know if we're going to end up having anything like Calgary and Seattle had a few days ago, but it's definitely going to be a hard-fought battle in this matchup. And I'm hoping that we get some goals at some point. And I'm hoping that, even if it ends up being a little lower scoring than we want, even if it ends up being like a 3-2 final, or 2-1 final, as long as we get the dub, that's all that matters. We need these wins so desperately. Winnipeg is already in a good position. And as Megan said, and, I talked with Odin as well, and, getting Toffoli traded from the Devils to the Jets, that definitely gives them another piece of firepower to see if they can go a little bit deeper. So that was a big, big trade for Winnipeg. They're not fucking around. They're really trying to make a deep run and trying to get to the Stanley Cup this year. Will they get there? We don't know, but we know that they are going to be one of the better teams in the NHL if they keep up this pace. Come on, Yanni. Bonsoir with the save. All right, let's get some more photos up for Mr. Williams and for Megan. I'm gonna hit you with some cool shit, some like throwback stuff. Most people don't even know where Dotson is from. Louisiana. Fire, baby. You got to be able to go back in your history and look, especially when we get like a lot of draft picks that come from our favorite teams. Sometimes it takes a couple years for them to be able to figure it out. And it's always cool to be able to look back, on a player that you didn't really care about. And then all of a sudden they started doing well, or they got an extension or got paid like Dotson did. And then we can do a nice throwback like this and see, oh shit, he was on Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns. Okay. All right, Dotson, I see you. All right, let's get some photos up here for Megan as well. We'll start off with some Jay-Z and some Seahawks stuff. Since we obviously have the NFL logo spinning, we might as well keep that theme, and then we'll switch it over to some hockey in a minute. We got to make sure we're going over Mr. Mike McDonald, all right? New head coach for the Seahawks. Mr. Williams and Megan will be going at it, back and forth, as well as reflect as being Seahawk fans and Rams fans. It's going to be a lot of fun in the NFC West, and I'll be definitely doing a lot of coverage for both of your guys' teams in the future. And let's see here what else I can squeeze in here. We're on a commercial break. Oh, baby. I'm squeezing. I'm hurrying, but we want to make sure we get the quality. Quality, baby. Appreciate the two of you very, very much. Let's go. I'll get you guys some more once we get to the end of the first period or another commercial break. Less than 7 minutes to go in the first period. Good intensity from both teams, and you can definitely tell there's a different type of energy in Climate Pledge Arena tonight. And it's not just celebrating, the amazing females across the world that are celebrating this NHL Women's Day here at Climate Pledge tonight, and obviously celebrating women all over the globe. Come on, baby. And also, too, when I end up doing streams like this, you guys can let me know if you guys want background music, while the game is going on, or if you just want it during the intermissions and whatnot. You guys can give me your input. If you guys like to have something in the background music wise, you can let me know too loud, too low. You want it on throughout the whole broadcast or only throughout commercials and intermission. You guys let me know what you guys like as a group. And again, if you want me to have the background music throughout the whole show, we can do that. If that's a little bit too much for some of y'all, which I understand, then we can just keep it during the intermissions. But whatever you guys want, you just let me know. I got you. Oh, I can't do that. I can't put T-Pain or any music on. I only have like tracks that are okay through the copyright, and it's just not like actual like rapping or singing. It's just background music to the stream. So yeah, shit. I mean, if I could end up playing whatever I wanted, I mean, we'd have all kinds of great stuff on here. We'd have Black Sabbath, we'd have Ozzy Osbourne, we'd have Metallica, maybe some Guns N' Roses, maybe some Red Hot Chili Peppers, maybe some Green Day, and then maybe some hip hop. And who knows, maybe a little T-Pain would have got into the rotation at some point or another. But yeah, I can't do anything like that because as soon as you start doing copyright stuff, they can not only block your stream, they can cut it off, and then they can also do a copyright strike, and then they can either strike you one time, or they can even ban you, for up to a week. So, definitely don't want to do anything like that. So, Candace in the building, what's good? Oh boy, said T Pain. Arch is like, give me that T Pain. What's your favorite T Pain song? Mr. Autotune himself. It was definitely a different world in hip hop in the 90s and the 2000s. Like I saw that Nelly interview, where he's talking about hip hop now compared to hip hop back then, and how much harder it was to be number one because you had so many people that were different and nobody sounded like each other. Nelly, Ludacris, Eminem, 50 Cent. If you go through like all the people, Jay Z, everyone that was kind of competing at that time, no one really sounded like each other, and everyone was competing for like that top spot. It definitely was a special time in that hip hop era. Not saying that the hip hop era now is dead, but there's a lot of garbage that's out now. Here we go, 2-on-1. Oh, big steal by the Jets. All right, let's see if I can squeeze in a few more here. Want to make sure we go through them at least one more time before I eliminate them if we go a different direction. See if I can squeeze in a largent or two. Let's go, Steve. Woohoo! Minnesota Vikings, who? Bosworth and Steve. Let's go. Well, I hope things get better for you, Candace. Mental health is, definitely important. And anytime, if we can make things a little bit better, if anyone is struggling, even if it's something that they think is a little minor, I guarantee if someone is normally at like an 8, 9, or 10 mentally, and then they're at like a 0, I'm not going to be able to have someone come in the room and make them a 10 in a matter of 20 minutes or an hour or two. But, if you are at a 0 or a 1 or a 2, we might be able to get you to like a 4 or a 5, by the time that you leave. And then maybe tomorrow you end up being a 6. And then maybe the next day, maybe a 7. And then you can, progress at your own rate. But I know that we can definitely make things a little bit better for you. If there's anything that you want to see photo wise, you got like a old school 49er player that you want to see, like Joe Montana or Jerry Rice, something of that nature, something that would cheer you up, let me know. And I got you. All right. We got less than 2 minutes to go in the first period. We're still knotted up at 0. They outshot the Kraken 33-24 on Tuesday, the Jets, but we ended up getting that dub, which was huge for us. 4-3 final in Winnipeg. We have this game tonight, and then the last game that we play the Jets will be April 16th, I believe, and that will be in Winnipeg. So be huge if we can end up, getting this one and then winning the overall series as a whole and having a potential chance to sweep them. That would be big. I mean, considering that we're a fifth place team in the Pacific right now. Oh wow, that's terrible. Sorry to hear that. Was that in California? Yeah. Less than a minute to go. But even, when everyone thinks that, everyone is doing okay, but again, we all have moments of desperation where sometimes we may think like the worst thoughts or, potentially try to do something that we shouldn't. So it's really important to know yourself, and you have to be able to know yourself and know your triggers and your tendencies. So that way that when you're starting to go down and decline, if you know that you do this and you do this and you hang out with this person, which makes you want to do this, or you party with this person, and it's going to make you worse afterwards, maybe feel good for a little bit, but then afterwards the wallet is a little bit lighter, and then you end up being sober the next day, and then it ends up cycling through. Sometimes you have to be able to eliminate yourself from bad situations and bad people that maybe your friend, but sometimes people want to look out for themselves, and it's like what what you can do for them. And once you start, stopping, doing things for people, or when you start saying no, you can definitely tell, who's got your back and who doesn't. Hack's got the purple tie today, so we got the blue sport blazer. We got a kind of grayish with a blue little dot pattern with the undershirt and a nice kind of royal purple tie. So I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I assume it's going to be good, and we're going to end up getting this dub. End of the first period, we're knotted up at 0. All right, let me know here. Let's get some more photos up. And I'll do a little low music since Megan got a little bit of a migraine, but we'll do something a little low here. So it won't be terribly loud. All right, let me eliminate some of these photos. And then let me know what other photos the two of you want based off your donos, and I got you. You got any more Rams players you want me to showcase? Let me know. Or if you want to showcase Shohei Ohtani or some of the Dodger players like Mookie, I could throw that up for you as well. You just let me know. And then I'll be working here for the two of you while we're in intermission. Sure, let's do that. End of the first period, 0-0. Good energy in the building. That's our guy. He's literally like the perfect person for Seattle. I've watched a lot, this season, of many, many different teams, and trying to kind of gauge, different coaches, different vibes, watching more interviews, seeing how, they react with the players and whatnot. And I couldn't think of anyone else that I would want at head coach. And hopefully we can end up having Hack for a very long time. There he is, handsome guy. End of the first period, knotted up at 0. Go, Eli. on, Tolvanen. We need you. Oh, we got to refresh. I'm going to throw up some Shohei Ohtani up here for my boy. Hold on one sec here. I see TV right here. Yeah, baby. I'm excited against Padres, man. I'll live stream the first game for sure. 100%. We'll probably get quite a few and whatnot. And then at some point or another, who knows, maybe, maybe I'll be able to, I'm going to be able to do a few collabs with a few different people in baseball season and whatnot. And you never know, there might be a surprise collab, at some point or another as well. Yeah, well, me and Rooftop are already going to do it, but I was talking about, like, if we can figure something out at some point, like, with some of the others that may be out there, so. It's just like once you get to a certain point, when you, have your channel established, some people, depending on what number you're at sub count wise, some people are a little bit more fickle on, who they want to work with and whatnot. And, like Valhalla is great. He does Dodgers and whatnot. I wouldn't mind considering some type of collaboration if we both could agree on something. But yeah, there'll be a few opportunities for Rooftop or Trident and a few of his buddies that he tries to be able to do on his end that we'll end up doing as well. So Andrew in the building. What's good? I haven't been able to do too much Ohtani stuff just yet because it's, I was considering doing some of like Cactus League or like spring training, but I mean, they just don't play enough of the superstars yet to make it worthwhile, and once we get to the regular season, though, we'll be all over it. Anybody else that you want to be able to see, Mr. Williams? It doesn't have to be sport related. It could be like TV, movie related, Star Wars, Marvel related. Have you started watching Shogun yet? Like that might be the new hot thing that's out right now. And Shogun is definitely worth watching. I still haven't got a chance to go through and watch all the episodes and whatnot, but I'm still, what am I watching? I still got Deadwood. So I still got like one season left of Deadwood. I'm watching True Blood at the same time and a bunch of like vintage and current cartoons. But once I'm done with some of that stuff, I'll definitely go and I'm going to watch Shogun, and I can't wait. What are you watching right now? You got any recommendations on shows? The only recommendation that I would feel comfortable giving is Shogun. Based on everything I've read, every clip that I've seen, everything that has to do with the show. But again, anytime you get a show that is on FX or FXX and it feels like it should be on HBO or Showtime, then you got something special. Like, with Sons of Anarchy, special. Mayans MC, special. And now we got Shogun on FX as well, so. Come on, NHL logo. We can't have no white background. Motherfucking glitching. Oh, I got a couple others I've been saving for you. Oh, baby. Is it football season yet? Since we got the draft to kind of hold us over for some of the diehards. Oh, nice. Nice. Reflect, are you still in the room? Or did you go for a walk? Because I ended up watching a few different interviews and a few different podcasts and some articles. And UW quarterback from the past, Brock Heward, that is, I'm not sure if everyone really respects his opinion or not, but they're saying that they think that, and for these are not everyone, but some of the people that are stating that not only do they think that J.J. McCarthy would be a good fit for the Seahawks, whether, they're in the right spot position-wise, but then they were talking about some of these guys that they're thinking that J.J. McCarthy might get picked over Drake May that high. I don't know about that. I get it that Michigan ended up winning the championship, but again, they relied more on Blake Corum, the offensive line, and the defense. I'm not really sure if J.J. McCarthy would be a good fit for Seattle, let alone if Seattle wasn't even in the running to get him. Can you imagine if J.J. McCarthy gets picked like third overall? I don't know what world or what these guys are smoking on. And I know J.J. McCarthy has some type of skill set, but I'm not sure if he's better than Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix Jr., or Bo Nix. Some people, I guess, seem to like him a lot. I'm not really that high on him, but again, we'll have to wait and see. But I thought that was a little weird, to hear, because normally Brock Heward is kind of reserved, Like he's really, really on JJ McCarthy. And I mean, I've watched a lot of film and I watched a lot of tape, and I just feel there hasn't been enough game film of him throwing the ball to prove that he can play on the NFL level as a top 12 starter in the league. For me, McCarthy seems more of a backup to me, but tomato, I guess, right? Judah in the building. What's good? Oh, Dune 2. Nice. Yeah, I haven't got a chance to see that. I was thinking about watching the old Dune, from like the back in the day, like whenever it was, like the 60s, 70s, or 80s, like the original one, then the Dune, and then, the newer one, and then obviously the newest one. So. Nice. And you saw Fluffy pretty recently within the last year and a half, right? I've heard Fluffy does an amazing show. Anytime I see his stuff come up on my my feed, I'm all over it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. The funny thing is I haven't heard too many people talking about him until as of late. Like, what happened between yesterday and 2 weeks ago? It's like all of a sudden, like someone saw some secret film, and then all of a sudden now JJ McCarthy, to some people, might be better than Drake May or Jaden Daniels. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. But what do I know? All right, let's do that. Good choice. That's why I asked, Sometimes we can throw up other things, but I had to throw you a couple Cooper Cups, so. Make sure I get his name spelled right. Esperanza. And have you seen Felipe before, or is this the first time? Oh, I know this guy. This guy's funny. Oh, this guy, yeah. I watched this guy in Superstore on Cloud9. Oh my gosh, I would totally see this guy. I'm a big Superstore fan. I actually just watched that from beginning to end just about a month ago. I was like, you know what? I need to laugh. And I was like, I haven't seen Superstore in a minute. Let's watch it from the very, very beginning. Because I was about to say that name seemed familiar, but I was like, oh, it's my boy Cody. Oh my gosh, that'll be a good show. Oh no, that's not good. How is power up? Power's good to go. You guys having a storm coming in there in the Northeast? Prayers up for you, bro. Yeah. Well, obviously, when you look at him, he kind of has like that goofball look. Like he's like some people and comedians. Like when you just look at them, you laugh. It's like you're not making fun of their appearance, but they just look like they're a funny person. Whether it's the hair or the clothes or just the mannerisms. You know what I mean? Like there's just sometimes you see certain people and you almost start laughing before even the punchline or even the joke. Yeah, I think you're going to have a good time. Oh, Superstore is one of the best comedies that's ever been on TV. Like, honestly, it's probably in my top 2. It's very, very good. I mean, it's every episode, it's like a 30-minute episode, right? Every episode, I would laugh 2 to 3 times. And everyone that's in the cast is amazing. And Glenn, the manager, that guy probably has the funniest lines in the whole show. But it is so good, like top to bottom. Everyone is fantastic. Everyone is funny. I mean, imagine having like a show that's got like 8 or 9 comedians or people that are funny all grouped together, and then they're working at a box store that's kind of like a Walmart, like a Cloud9. So good. And then just the situations that they do on the show, showing like what customers do in the aisle, eating food and just being weird. And then, showing, what these people do when they go to stores like Costco, Winco, Walmart, and it is so good. And I would highly recommend if anyone needs a boost and someone that needs some boost in mental health and they want to laugh, Superstore, I highly recommend it. It's very, very good. 10 out of 10. and I wouldn't hype that up either. And I have a certain type of personality, but the jokes, the punchline, it's not like dry humor. It's just hilarious situations that you see. And a lot of the stuff is like personable because you always remember some of these like weirdos that you've seen and weird things that you've seen at stores when you've gone in. I think everyone has had some experiences where you're just minding your business, you're not talking to anyone, you're just trying to get in and get out, and then all of a sudden you have these weird things that are happening in front of you. And then just imagine those type of things like elevated to a 100, and that's what you get in that show. We're in the second period now. 2-on-1. Nice save. All right, let me turn the music down here. We don't want Megan's migraine to get any worse. I don't know. I'm pretty selective on the stuff. Like I like a lot of documentaries. I like to read a lot, which I know is kind of a weird thing for people in 2024. I mean, some people like the OGs. I feel like people that enjoy to read are usually a little bit older. Like I feel like, if you're 35 and up, or 40 and up, you probably enjoy reading a little bit more. If you're under that age, everything is devices and articles and cell phones and tablets and computers and stuff. But, and of course you can read from those platforms too, but it's always kind of nice to be able to pick up a magazine or a book or a vintage magazine or a vintage book or something, that you can actually sit down and read, or if it's converted onto the internet, still not really the same as actually holding something physically in your hands, but I like to be able to learn things, every single day. The more, at least one new thing every day. All right, we're in the second period, 16 minutes and counting. 9 shots on goal for the Jets, 8 for the Kraken. Let's go. Oh, nice. Got to do the research, though, right? You got to do the research, and see, what type of, model and what you're going to be going for. Are you trying to do like an electric version where you're like plugging it in, or are you going to try to do, just something with like regular gas and whatnot? Woo! Yeah, it also depends on budget, what you're looking at trying to spend too. Shout out to Cyberpunk for helping out on the Twitter/X. Even when he can't make it, even if he doesn't really give a shit about hockey, it's still cool to be able to have people that care about me and Paisley and the NWSF and doing something as simple and just liking and retweeting a stream. Even if you don't really think it's going to make that much of a difference, but you never know. Out of your followers that you guys have on social media, you never know. It might be one person or a few people that you don't really know that well, but that could end up turning into a sub or a view or a possible goat in the future. So yeah, I know with all the Tesla stuff and like the self-driving automation stuff, it's like you still have people that end up getting in crashes, thinking, oh, I'm going to be in the back seat or I'm going to sit in the passenger seat or the driver's seat. I'm just going to play video games until all of a sudden the computer doesn't update that there's an accident like around the bend, and then you slam into someone and rear end them and die. But anything that's hooked up to a computer too also has the ability to be hacked. Can you imagine being like in a vehicle, like an electric vehicle, and then all of a sudden the computer gets hacked, and then all of a sudden the gas pedal goes all the way down to the floor, and you can't do anything? Then you're dead. You know, you're always going to have errors and stuff, that happen, and obviously they try to, have it as little as, you know problems or accidental deaths and injuries and things that happen. But I mean, I've been in some Teslas and I've been in some, through like Uber and Lyft and things like that. I don't have too many friends that have them, but a couple and whatnot. But I mean, inside of them is kind of cool. The big ass screen. It's got like a big ass iPad. Kind of like tablet, like right there. So a lot of the gadgets and gadgets in it. Got a cool looking symbol and everything. It's very streamlined. It seems like it's a pretty good vehicle. But again, I guess it just depends if you want to support Elon or not. That's really what it comes down to. Are you an Elon guy or girl or not? And then what kind of experience do you have? Have you had one before? And then I've seen some good and some bad. But again, seems like there's a little bit more deaths and accidents for the self-driving automation for my liking, at least in 2024. 14 minutes and counting. Yeah, the way that this game is shaping up, it might be like a 2-1 game. Highest that it could probably come out to be if the flow stays the same is 3-2, but it kind of feels like it might be a 2-1 game. I don't think it's going to be a 1-0 game. There's too much talent on the ice for both teams. But I think it could end up being a 2-1, 3-2 game. I would be very shocked if we end up getting anything higher than that. I mean, hell, we're already 20 minutes in and then another 7. We're already 27 minutes in and it's still 0-0. So luxury, quiet, smooth ride. Yeah. And then I guess it depends if you're trying to buy or lease. And then if you're trying to get new or used. Good save. Any other documentaries or anything else cool that you've watched or that you would recommend that I should watch, Mr. Williams? You got any TV shows, movies, documentaries, anything that you would recommend? Yeah, I was going to say used would probably be the way to go, especially with like financing and everything else that's going on. And in California, everything is fucking expensive. So come on, Riker. 10 shots on goal for Winnipeg, 8 for the Kraken. I mean, like I said, defense has been great by both teams. So it's like, kind of both teams kind of running in mud a little bit. It's like, you got two amazing defenses. You're not really getting a whole lot. You know that the goals are going to come. But at this point, goalie play has been a 10 out of 10 for both teams. It's been awesome. I don't mind a defensive minded game. Of course, you're going to get those games, when it ends up being, 6-5, 6-4, or you end up getting a debacle like when I ended up doing the Caps versus the Penguins yesterday, and the Caps ended up winning 6-0. I thought Sidney Crosby would at least help me out and get me at least one. I knew Ovechkin having a chance to get at least a goal or two, and he got one, but 6 different goals by 6 different players. It definitely reminded me of a Kraken game because that's kind of how it goes for us when we get that many. But definitely a disappointing game. It was nowhere near what my anticipation was of that game. I thought maybe like a 4-3 kind of game, and it ended up being over in the first period. So, but at least in this matchup, even though it's 0-0, you got better quality teams that are on the ice. Everyone is motivated. Everyone is trying, and goalie play has been great. We just have to wait for someone to, set up a good power play to maybe take advantage. Yeah, I miss cyber too. I mean, I would love to be able to have all the goats come through every day, regardless if they could donate or not, but just to have that amazing conversation, and being able to have the mods and the goats vibe off each other. But yeah, sorry to hear that. And you can reach out to me anytime. And I think a lot of times we have like ESP. It's like we think of each other, like I said, like, you might just be like doing your own thing. Like you're doing your thing in Cali. I'm doing my own thing. I'm reading. I'm doing film study. I'm recording. I'm spending time with Paisley. I'm doing all that. right? And then all of a sudden, you might read something or see something on your phone, and then it makes you think of somebody, or you haven't talked to someone in a while and you're wondering how they're doing. And I feel that a lot of times we're on that same mode. Like we might have not talked for like a week, week and a half, or something like that. And then we'll message each other kind of out of the blue. And then when we do that, I feel that the other person was already thinking of doing that same exact thing. It's either you beat me to the punch or I beat you to the punch, but then we're still kind of connected that way. So, yeah, hopefully they're not giving you the runaround and you're still at the same job that you were at before, correct? Yeah. The one thing that we know, you and me, we understand that this is really important, and again, my main thing is, it's not to be famous. That's the least of my worries. It's like I know that I'm one of the more dedicated, passionate, resilient human beings on planet Earth. So I already know that good things are going to end up happening for me and Paisley and for us on the channel. It's not a matter of if, it's just when. And as long as I don't quit, which I won't, we're gonna get there, and things are gonna get better and better and better for us. But as long as I know that I can help people out, that's really my main thing. Just be able to help people in life. Be able to do something that I love. Talk about sports and wrestling and music and pop culture and just being able to do that. But then also to be able to do my dream and help people as well. And that's what you guys need to be able to try to find too as well. Everyone has something that they're really really good at, and you want to make sure you go for those types of things in your life. Life is really short, and if you have that type of thing, again, you have to be dedicated. It's a thing. You have to make sure that you're going to put in that proper time and effort. And again, if it was easy to be successful in certain things, everyone would do it. It's very very difficult. I mean, you guys have seen the trials and tribulations that I've had to go through, even with my sub count and things that where I'm at. But just knowing that on the daily, that I can be a safe haven in a room with guys and girls of ages from 10 to 90 years old, from Oregon all the way to Australia. And if we're having a bad day and we can bring each other up and vibe, that's really really important, because we've had a lot of things that have happened in the last couple of years with COVID and whatnot, and it's just nice to be able to know that we actually do care about each other. And I feel that we have a very good structure here on the channel where a lot of the mods and a lot of the goats, we actually, a lot of us are friends with each other outside of the stream. And I think that's great. We definitely need to be able to have those good bonds and connections. And for anyone to say, well, just because, you're on this channel doesn't mean you know them. But that's completely false, because as you guys know, a lot of us are closer here on the channel than we are with our physical friends in our hometown state. We have friends that, physical friends that are in our city and state, but that doesn't mean that they know us better or know us on the same level that we do here. So, if you spend a lot of time in a certain place, you'll start to get to know each other. And I really do appreciate the friendships and the bonds that we've been able to create here on the channel. It means everything to me, because it's not only helping my mental health out, I know it's helping you guys out too. And it's really nice to be able to hear stories of kind of ups and downs, so that that you're not alone. And I think a good chunk of the mods and the goats and the heavy hitters, we've all gone through the depression, anxiety, and gone through the trials and tribulations together, sometimes at different times. So if someone is down and I'm up, I'm going to make sure that we can bring them up. If I'm down, people can bring me up. So Carte with a big hit. Oh, now they're getting physical now. All right, the bell is rung. The bell is rung. 12 shots on goal for Winnipeg, 10 for the Kraken. And now you can see the physicality. You can see the coaches saying, hurry up. let's go. We're already halfway through the game, no goals. And now you can see the intensity on the ice go up another notch. I think we're going to have a goal here very shortly within the next 7 minutes or so. Don't know if it's going to be from Winnipeg or Seattle, but you can feel that it's getting closer. We're going to end up getting the first goal very, very shortly. Well, prayers up for you, and I hope everything goes well. And if you ever need anything, you know where I am. Appreciate you. Yeah, I feel there's quite a few of us that we're very, very similar, and it also depends on age as well. And if we grew up, liking the same things or experiencing the same things, even though we didn't know each other back then. But like, I'm 41, so if anyone is 38 to 42, anything that I talk about in my childhood, you guys can relate if you're in that age group, and that's typically like Odin's son and Sarah and a few of the others because you know about the squeeze its and the shark bites and the kudos bars and the bump it and all these like weird little subtle things and my buddy and kid sister. You either understand what I'm saying or you don't. It either makes sense and you remember those things and you have a flashback and you can remember, or it just goes over your head if you're younger or maybe a little bit older. But I mean, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, a lot of that stuff will be relevant. That's the thing I'm the most proud of. And again, it's never going to be about fame. It's never going to be about subs, views. It's always going to be about, do I have enough donos coming in that I can be okay? And then once that happens, it's all about being able to help people. I almost feel like it was like my destiny. Everyone already knew my voice, at an early age, people were commenting on it. And so I already knew, I could use it for like sales and make money. But when you can end up talking about sports and life and experiences instead of me selling, cable, internet, and phone to businesses. Now, could I make a lot of money doing that? Like I did, of course. But do I love it? Is it my passion? Hell no. You know what I mean? So. It's just nice to be able to, have these bonds and relationships. And, I'm going to always do everything in my power to make things better. 6 minutes to go in the second period. We're knotted up at 0. 13 shots on goal for Winnipeg, 11 for the Kraken. It's been really physical. No fights, really, but it's been getting a little chippy, a couple jabs. Not a lot of power plays just yet. It's been really, really dead even play right now with Rasa and DeCold. There's no penalty minutes at all. When's the last time you've seen an NHL game with 6 minutes left in the second period with no penalty minutes on either team? 13 shots on goal for Winnipeg, 11 for Seattle. 13 hits for Winnipeg, 12 for Seattle. So we're only one behind, for shots and hits, penalty minutes, dead even. And check this out, face-offs, dead even. So it doesn't get any more even than that. Out of play. And I appreciate that too. Plus, I think like a lot of hosts, they don't go and talk about the difficult stuff. I'm always willing to be able to talk about the difficult things that are out there that maybe some hosts and some people feel uncomfortable. Like if there's something that's going on that's like sexist, against women or racist or whatever it may be. Yeah, sometimes those things are a little uncomfortable, but they need to be discussed sometimes, especially when you think that something wrong is going on. We just can't let it slide underneath the table just because it's kind of one of those uncomfortable things. And I just want to make sure that people understand. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, Mexican, Australian, Cuban, Puerto Rican. As long as you have chat etiquette, and you're respectful, we're going to be able to create some amazing bonds. And if that means that I have to eliminate a lot of people, based off being rude or trolls, it's going to be a certain type of person that will be a fit, on this channel. It's not going to just be for everyone, because I'm not going to allow people to come in here and disrespect people. You may be able to do that on other channels because their mods don't care and all they want is your sub. They don't care if you're being disrespectful or not, but I want to make sure that we're keeping a safe haven. And if that means that it takes a little bit longer for me to hit my end goal for likes, subs, views, in the future, so be it. That just means that we're going to have the right people in the room, because instead of having a flood of bad people, and then all of a sudden the good people aren't going to want to be a part of this channel. So it's never ever going to be about the money and the donos. I mean, if we end up having someone that's a rude person and they're donating $100 every stream, I'll give them the boot. Yes, do I need that $100 every day? Yeah, but I don't want it to ruin the vibe just because someone's rude and they're rich and they have money. And luckily, we don't really have anybody that's like that. So it's not all about the money. It's not all about the views and the subs. But on the flip side, are those things important if you care about your YouTube channel or Twitch or whatever you're doing? Of course, like subs, views, interaction, all those things are important. But, fame is the last thing that is on my mind. It's really just being able to connect with people of all ages and all races, men and women, and to be able to go over my experiences and to let you know that, you're not alone. And a lot of the same stuff that you go through, I'm going through the same type of stuff as you. So less than 5 minutes to go in the second period. Can we get a goal, please? Yeah, and plus it's all about the intelligence here too. We're not dummies here. It's all about reading, film study, stats, and we're going to go deeper, than any other channel. Everyone else can talk about quarterbacks and running backs and wide receivers and tight ends, but on our end, we'll go O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling, OCs, DCs, offensive line coaches. I mean, we're going to go deeper, deeper, deeper. The owners, the GMs, and there's going to be other channels that talk about certain things like that also, but we're just going to go deeper, and that's what I really like and appreciate. Sometimes sports and wrestling, it's not just black and white. Sometimes there's a gray area. And anytime you end up going deeper on things, then, I can give better predictions, fantasy football, betting, and just in general, we don't really do, hot takes. A lot of the stuff is based off, the research and the film. And then we come up with a breakdown or a prediction based on what, effort was put in. I mean, we're not very wrong here as a channel overall. I mean, of course, no one's going to be right 100% time, and I'm definitely not going to be right 100% of the time. But what I do think is that, if someone disagrees with me and I give them my point and they're willing to listen, they still may not agree fully, but they'll understand where I'm coming from, because I'm never going to give an opinion on something that I don't know what I'm talking about. Anything that I go over is going to be a lot of extensive research and film, and I'm just going to, this is what I feel. And again, not everyone is going to be right all the time, but I feel that we get predictions right a lot more here than a lot of other channels that are out there. And that's due to the hard work of all the people that are in the room, including myself. If you're willing to put in that effort, people will come and steal your material, like Peter Schrager. I mean, there's a reason why Pat McAfee, Good Morning Football, EA Sports, and a lot of these other guys secretly watch this channel, because they know that we're actually reading and watching the film and putting in the work. It's one thing to be popular, and it's another thing to be damn good at what you're good at. So we're not a fad. We're not a fidget spinner. We're not just something that's going to be hot for a year and then disappear. This is something that we want to have a long, extended period of time of being great. Less than 3 minutes to go. Come on, baby. Yeah, GMFB is going to Los Angeles. That means that it'll be easier for Peter Schrager to be on the same time zone to spy on me. Try to come up with some clever nicknames and catchphrases. I swear, a lot of these guys that are on TV, all they do is just watch, me and a lot of the other bigger, channels that are out there that have more subs, because they can't think of nicknames or original content for themselves. It's much easier just to go and steal someone's material. I wish they weren't like that. I know if I was on TV or podcasting, I wouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't be taking shortcuts. Like what? Oh, I'm just making $1 million a year or $8 million a year, and then all of a sudden I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to read off the teleprompter or just read what the producers tell me. Hell no. Like, have some goddamn pride for yourself. But I guess, they think that they can just steal anyone's material and they won't get called out on it. But it's just a sad, sad thing. Just like when, you look at posts, like on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, all of a sudden you see someone that has something, and what do? Instead of liking and retweeting it or acknowledging it, what do? They steal it, and then they act like they made it up themselves. It's a kind of a cancel culture that we have here, across the globe, which is kind of sickening. A lot of people are afraid to be original. It's a lot easier for people to be fake and to steal people's shit. Yeah, I don't watch Good Morning Football anymore. I mean, I'll watch it during the football season, but I don't have any interest watching it after football season's over. And I don't even watch Pat McAfee anymore. Those were only the two shows that I could watch. And I feel like they do too many skits, and it's like a little, I don't know, it's not as good as it used to be. And then obviously being on ESPN, that gives them that demographic for like the old heads or the young kids. But I don't know. I just feel like the way that sports talk is right now, it's at its like very worst than it's ever been, you know. But again, if you have cable or you have TV, a lot of people have to watch something, and most people will watch like YouTube. If they're looking for something, they'll have some streamer that they like. But as far as TV is concerned, I mean, even the two that I really, really, really liked aren't even as good as they were just even as of a couple years ago. I feel like Pat McAfee and Good Morning Football have taken a hit, but they're still better than everyone else that's on. I'm not going to watch Stephen A. I'm not going to watch any of the other shows that are out there. They're just not worth my time. It's just too fugazi and fake for me. I feel like I get dumber listening to these horrible takes from these shitty ass former athletes that think that they know the game. It's like, I get it, you played, but that doesn't mean you understand every aspect of the game of someone that's covering, the league. It's like, I get it, you're a former player, but it's like anytime Shady McCoy comes on, yeah, you can just throw your TV out the window. It's like there's so many of these guys that they hire just because they were like a decent player, or maybe they weren't even a decent player, like Acho, or just a guy, a loudmouth guy that fucking sucks ass on the mic. But again, I guess if they think that that's a good target audience to have someone that's loud and annoying that gets a bunch of predictions wrongs and likes to argue. I mean, I guess there's going to be certain people that like that type of sports talk, but not me. I want to be able to hear real opinions, not bullshit stuff because the producer told you so, or the Dallas Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl. I mean, we've heard that fucking for the last 30 years. Come on. But FS1 and ESPN, I mean, a lot of these networks have taken a huge fucking hit. There we go. Good defense by the Kraken. Backup QBs, yeah. Dan Orlovsky and Ryan Leaf and all these guys. I mean, they're like, I don't know. Like for me, like Orlovsky and Mina Kimes, I can't watch that shit. It's terrible. Like, I definitely want to support, like Mina, as a female and being Asian and whatnot, what I mean? But I don't like her. I mean? She might be, as far as like all the females that are out there, you know what I mean? Do I think that she's good at what she does? Is she smart? Yes. Is she well spoken? Yes. But am I going to go out of my way to watch Mina Kimes? Hell no. It's like not for me. Yeah, that whole show with like NFL Live, that shit is garbage. It's not good. I mean, like really, the only thing that I can watch typically is Pat McAfee show, Good Morning Football, and I like Fantasy Football Live with Cynthia Freeland. And I think with Cynthia Freeland with analytics and statistics, I can watch her. I can listen to Colleen Wolfe. Not really big on Kay Adams. I know Kay is a pretty face, but I don't like her attitude. She seems very fake and fugazi, and not a lot of people watch her since she's not on, Good Morning Football anymore. So, I mean, like I said, I guess it just depends if you're looking for an attractive person to watch, or if you're actually trying to watch someone that you enjoy, that they know what they're doing. Oh, Chris Sims is an idiot. I mean, there are so many terrible, terrible takes, man. And sometimes it's from them, sometimes it's from the producers, but I mean, I just feel like there's just so much bullshit. There's some other angle. Someone is telling them, say it like this, or, go this route, because they don't want necessarily all the people to agree with each other, but you can't have dumbass takes either, But again, once you have dumbass takes, that's what gets people interacted. Like if they end up doing a top 5 quarterbacks and then they leave out like Joe Burrow or like Lamar or, or something like that, it's like, or they don't have, Josh Allen or something, like someone that that deserves to be there, and they blatantly take them off the list. And of course, they know they're going to get a reaction from the football heads that are smart. How do you have a top 5 list and Burrow's not on there? They did it on purpose. So you just have to understand hook, line, and sinker when they're trying to bait you or not. They know exactly what they're doing before they do it. It just depends if you're a sucker and if you're going to believe it or not. Sims, Florio, Collins, yeah, they're terrible. I mean, I know some people like them and stuff, but even watching, Good Morning Football and what they do, it's not the same with the original crew, that they had, with Kay and Nate the Great. Even though Kay isn't my favorite, they had good chemistry with each other. With Peter Schrager, Fugazi, when Kyle Brandt with his energy and angry runs, Kay, being the lead and the pretty face and knowing some fantasy football and then being incredibly biased for the Bears and the Saints. And then you had the best one on the show, Nate Robinson. Nah. You already know who it is. Nate the Great, baby. Nate Burleson, baby. You already know it's Nate. Elliot in the building. What's good? No, Erdahl isn't terrible. And again, it took me a little while to kind of warm up to her, but she's very well spoken, and she might not come off as like a sex symbol, like some of the other females, like Kay Adams or Jane Slater or Colleen Wolfe, where they actually look like they could be fucking runway models or something like that, right? But again, with Erdahl, she's cute. But the main reason they got Erdahl to be the host over someone like Jane Slater and some of these others is because of the way that she speaks, and she's very well spoken. And you have to be able to control the other three, when they're going crazy, and you have to be able to understand, the role that you're, assigned to and whatnot as the lead host and as being a female and whatnot. So yeah, I don't mind Erdahl. But again, I can't watch the show after football season's over. So yeah. And obviously, it shows you, where Shannon goes. There's the ratings. Who's going to be watching. Oh boy, Skip. Who's going to go out of their way and watch Skip? The only reason people watched Skip before is because of Shannon was there and they could go back and forth. Skip would say something stupid and ludicrous and unrealistic, and Shannon would put him in his place. You know what I mean? And go that route. And then obviously Skip would be disrespectful, and and then it ended up leading to them breaking up. But there's no one on planet Earth that says, "Oh my God, I got to listen to Skip Bayless and Richard Sherman. Oh, I got to go out of my way to listen to these guys." No one in their right mind is going to go out of their way to listen to Skip Bayless and the rest of that crew. Keyshawn Johnson, terrible. Sherman, terrible. That grouping is terrible. Like, it's not good. But again, they think that the only way they're going to get ratings is it's from a former player. They would actually do better if they actually knew someone that knew football and knew the game. Just because you played doesn't mean you know and understand the game as a whole. End of the second period, 0-0 Jets and Kraken. All right, what other photos do we want to go into? Mr. Williams, what other photos do you want? You got any other photos that you want me to throw up? Any other comedians or TV shows or anything in general? Nice. I got you. This is awesome. I did not expect you to be dropping in today, let alone you being so amazingly generous and then being able to stay for the whole stream. I feel like it's kind of like my birthday or something. You know, it's not often that we can get one of the goats that really works, a long time and a lot of hours to be able to come through, for a whole, 2 hours or so, or 2 hours and 30 minutes. This is how you make me feel. Let's go. You my dog. Appreciate you. Mr. Williams is in the room. All righty then. I'll have to watch this. And I actually watched Ace Ventura When Nature Calls was on one of the cable channels. I don't know what it was on, AMC or FX, and I was scrolling the channel. I didn't end up watching the whole thing, but I ended up watching a little bit of it. It's like anytime I see Ace Ventura or Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, I'll typically give it a few minutes to be able to catch up and watch. I remember I ended up watching those in the theater, and it was, me and my dad watched Jim Carrey when he was on In Living Color, so we already knew how hilarious that he was. The tickets were sold out. This was Jim Carrey at his very, very prime. We had to get front row seats on the opening day, and my dad, normally is like, no, but I was like, let's go, dude. Fuck it. If we have to be in the front row, whatever. Let's go see it on opening day. And I have, my dad is very like kind of Santa. He's kind of very soft spoken. He'll laugh on certain things, you know what I mean? But he's kind of more, reserved. And I don't think I've seen my dad laugh more in my entire life than when we saw that movie for the very first time in the theater. Hilarious. The Mask, yeah, he's had a lot of Earth Girls Are Easy. I mean, there's a lot of really good older stuff, that people may have not seen in a minute. And yeah, Cameron Diaz and Jim Carrey in The Mask. I like that one too. There really isn't that many projects that Jim Carrey's done that I haven't liked. So yeah. I mean, his mannerisms and again, and it all started for me watching In Living Color, with Keenan Ivory Wayans, Damon Wayans, Marlon Wayans, all the Wayans brothers and sisters, and then Tommy Davidson, David Allen Greer, and then you had the one white guy with all the brothers and sisters, and of course it was Jim Carrey, and I always thought that he was hilarious back then, and it still makes me laugh to this day. I think the part of the episode that I was watching was this part when him and Tommy Davidson are having the conversation, and then they throw the spears into his legs. I ended up watching for about 15 minutes, but I probably should go back and watch both, like back to back, just to have a good laugh. Oh yeah, he did. Yes, so good too. So good. And dude, he's such a comedic genius too. His timing, his delivery, and then his facial expressions are top notch. Like I don't know if there's anyone that had better facial expressions back then. Regardless if it was a man or a woman, regardless if you were a brother or if you were white or Mexican or Asian. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, there's just so many iconic movies with Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, Dumb and Dumber. It's hard to be able to go past those three. If someone's got three better than those, big facts. I'm a big In Living Color fan. I could literally watch every episode of In Living Color and just love it. Back when J Lo was a fly girl before she got really discovered. Fire Marshal Bill, one of my favorites. Absolutely. Well, I promise we're going to have some goals in this. It might end up being, you know, 2-1 or something of that nature, but as long as we get the dub. Yeah, a lot of his in living color skits were, very similar types of comedic genius that you would end up seeing in Dumb and Dumber and in the Ace Venturas. You definitely could see some of it kind of cross over. See, my dad was like such an OG, when he was a teacher for like 30, 40 years. And in the classroom, he had room number 420. So obviously it got stolen every year. My dad was a hippie. He had a lot of like, Grateful Dead, type of stuff, but he would have like in living color posters, like in the classroom and whatnot. Like there is a reason my dad was like the most popular teacher at the school for like many, many years. Very laid back attitude, very chill, but had a good sense of awareness of what was going on at that time period. End of the second period, 0-0. Someone's got to win. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. He's got to have his teeth out, though. Oh my gosh. Because it's always like before the explosion and then after the explosion. Like before, after. So good. It was a great time to grow up as a kid, let me tell you. All right, you guys let me know what other photos you guys want. Second intermission, we're at 0-0. Anything else that you want to be able to see music artist wise or anything like that? Oh my god! I mean, there's so many characters, bro. You got to go, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for taking an hour and 45 minutes of your time to come through and hang out. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You boosted my mental health. Now I feel a little bit more comfortable, with the cable bill being due, or for the internet bill to be due to keep continuing to stream and everything, which is due in a couple days. I'm going to go to the Blazer game. I'm going to ground control to play some video games in a 2-story building that's got retro and newer video games as well. We'll probably get pizza or burgers after, and then go to the Blazer game. So it'll be 8 hours away from my baby, basically pup, but it'll be good for my mental health to hang out with my buddy. And he says he's got me an early birthday gift, and usually we give each other pretty good gifts. Like he's like the only friend that I have that lives here in Oregon with me, where we kind of give each other like pretty expensive gifts. Whether it be like an autographed baseball or some type of action figure or jersey or T-shirt. I've gifted him a Ken Griffey Jr. jersey, autographed Griffey ball, PSA, stuff like that. So I'm very curious to see what he ended up getting me. And he loves Goonies and Star Wars and pretty much everything that I grew up in the 80s and 90s loving. Back to the Future. He loves that type of stuff too. So I will. I'll send you a photo if I end up getting on some like NFL Blitz or NBA Hang Time, or if I end up, seeing something really, really crazy or cool. I'll end up sending you a photo on Instagram or something. But I do appreciate you too. I owe you some more photos next time you come through. Thank you for being so generous with your donos. $100 early on, through the super chat, 100 on the Cash App, and then obviously Megan with the 50. I appreciate the two of you very, very much. Appreciate you, bro. Elliot helping out on the Twitter/X. Thank you so much, man. And it might be a little rainy downtown, but we're taking a Lyft or Uber, and then we'll go in. So what is is it supposed to rain tomorrow? I think it is. Yeah, we're supposed to have rain here for the next 4 days. So, but that ain't gonna bring us down. Yes, I appreciate you. Talk soon. So no stream tomorrow, but we will be streaming on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and beyond, depending on whatever event it ends up being. But thank you so much. I'll message you outside of the stream on Instagram. And again, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being you, man. It's always good when we can end up having an amazing representation on the channel. So not only people on Twitter/X can see it, but others can see it, that are in the room. To be able to show like who really is bankrolling the channel, who really is supporting the channel to the maximum of their abilities. And it really does mean a lot because I wouldn't be able to do this full time without these people that are going out of their way for me. And it really does mean a lot. Thank you. All right. Anything else that you guys want to see for photos while we have a little bit of time since Mr. Williams is out of the room? Judah, you got any Bruins that you want to see? Sarah, you want anything that you want to see? Matt, anything that you want? Of course, we know what Matt wants to see, and I may be able to do that as we get a little bit closer to the end of the stream. But I'm not gonna throw up 15 to 30 photos of TS. But I may sprinkle in one or two for you just because you're my boy. But if there's something sport related, Matt, appreciate that with the share or the like there on the Twitter/X. Sure, let's do that. Showcase her skill set, and she sent me a post. Number one in 3-point shots made, even over Steph Curry. Big deal. It's a big, big deal. I mean, I actually am more excited to watch her in March Madness than any man that's going to be in the tournament. I don't think I've ever said that in my life. That I'm more excited to see a female basketball player play over any male player that's playing right now. And that's kind of how it was last year for me, too. Sure, I'll get that. Let's break the seal in this third period, baby. I mean, especially when the goaltending has been a 10 out of 10 for both teams. Something has got to give. We got to restructure the line, maybe change the line a little bit and go switch up a player maybe for this third period and find the right group of guys to be able to gain this momentum. The most entertaining player in basketball is not Wembanyama. It is Caitlin Clark, even though Wembanyama might be number 2. All right, we're in the third period now. I thought we were going to have a little bit more time, but let's go, Joey. And let's see Dredge's smiling face here after we got Joey. Let's get that up here as well for Megan. Yeah, baby. Dredge, baby. Sure. Once we end up getting into like a commercial break, like I said, I'll try to squeeze some of those in. Come on, Kraken. I don't know what we need. We need Joey. Maybe I need Bowie. We haven't had Bowie come out because we haven't had any goals. There we go. Maybe we need Bowie for some good luck. All right. He said, come on now. Bowie's ready. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Nice save by Joey. Come on, Maddie. 12 shots on goal for the Kraken. That's it. But at least Winnipeg doesn't have like 30 or 40. They're only at 20. So very, very tough defensive battle. It's like almost like a game like, let's say you would have like the Ravens and Niners going against each other, except the offenses are just stalling and they're not able to move the ball with Purdy. They're not able to move it with Lamar. There's no movement. It's just kind of running in mud, and the defenses are dictating the tempo. That's kind of what you're getting. But as we know, typically when the Niners and Ravens go at each other, even if the defenses are two of the top three in the NFL, you're still able to score points. But tonight, we're deadlocked at 0, and I'm hoping that we can find a way to win this game. If we can find a way to win this even 1-0, I'll be super ecstatic. This is the most entertaining 0-0 game I think I've seen all year. Of course, you wanted a few more power plays, maybe a few more fights, but literally no penalty minutes for either team. And I don't think we've done a game all year, whether it be the Kraken or anybody else, where we've seen this stat, where we're this far into the third period and we don't even have a penalty on either team. That's weird. 21 shots on goal for the Jets, 13 for the Kraken, 15 hits for Winnipeg, 13 for Seattle. No penalty minutes. And the faceoffs, believe it or not, 51.5% for Seattle, 48.5% for Winnipeg. And that was 50-50 for the majority of the game. So face-off percentage, we're actually winning barely. Now it's 52.9 to 47.1, and hopefully we can continue to win that, even if it's only by one face-off advantage. Who cares? As long as that face-off can lead to a goal, we'll take it. One-goal games, 12-4-5 for Winnipeg, 12-5-11 for the Kraken. So hopefully we can find a way here. Let's go. Judah wants some Bobby Orr, Brian May, red special for Megan. Judah with a suggestion for Taylor for Matt. We'll see what we get into here while we have a few more minutes. No penalties so far. I mean, they have been aggressive, and they have like jabbed at each other a couple times, but there hasn't really been a lot of like hate and aggression towards each other. This isn't like Calgary and Seattle going at it, or Seattle going against Colorado. I think we kind of respect each other, but again, we did beat them just a few days ago. So I know they haven't forgotten that we won 4-3, on March 5th. So it definitely is a totally different type of matchup than we had when we were in Winnipeg a couple days ago. Well, I don't know. I think anytime you have a game where you don't have any penalty minutes, it's not like there's any cheating going on or anything like that, or the refs are blind. It's just been a really fucking good defensive game, and both goalies have played 10 out of 10. That's really what it's come down to, and it's not like the Kraken and the Jets have had bad shots. Yeah, there's been some that weren't even close, but there was a few close ones. But again, defense, defense, defense. It's been fantastic tonight. And I know sometimes this is a boring matchup for some people, but I'd rather watch this 100 times over than watch Ovi and Sid the Kid go at it in a 6-0 game when the Caps beat up the Penguins last night when I did the stream. That was a boring game. I mean, the game was already over in the first period, and you could tell the Penguins gave up. And, those are the worst to do when you have one team that's rolling and then the other team just gives up. I don't like that at all. Yeah, but again, I like it. Again, there hasn't been too many spots for the refs to blow the whistle, though. It's not like they've missed, high sticking or slashing. They haven't missed anything. It's just been a really, really solid, matchup where, you got one team that's in, I believe, second place, and then, with Winnipeg, and we're in fifth. So we're just trying to gain ground. Come on, Tanev. Come on, Turbo. Someone needs to get get that energy going. Who's going to be the guy? Come on, Cartier. Yeah, I hate it when it's stop and go, stop and go. And again, it's just like in the NFL. We all love offense and we all love scoring, but sometimes lower scoring games when they're close, you're still getting some action or it's entertaining. Ooh, nice save by Joey. What's everybody doing tomorrow when I'm going to be at the Blazer game and at the arcade? Anyone got any plans for tomorrow? Tonight's games, we got Stars 5, Ducks 1, Avalanche 2, Wild 1 in OT, and then the Coyotes beat the Red Wings 4-0. Tomorrow, Oilers and Sabres at 9:30 a.m. Ooh-wee. Hurricanes and Devils, Predators, Blue Jackets, Penguins and Bruins. Go Bruins for Judah. Flames and Panthers, Maple Leafs and Canadiens. Go Maple Leafs. Flyers and Lightning, Kucherov, let's go. Blackhawks and Caps, Senators and Sharks, Blues and Rangers, Jets and Canucks. That'll be a good one. Red Wings and Golden Knights and Stars and Kings. So the best game tomorrow might be that Jets and Canucks. But I'll be at the Blazer game. And then on Sunday, we'll see what we end up doing. I haven't even peeked ahead. I know that the Kraken don't play on Sunday, though. And we got NASCAR, obviously, is an option, but we don't really have enough fans on the channel that love it as much as me. So, and once we get to a point, that would be great. I would love to be able to do a NASCAR stream with people, but oh, Tatar just wide. Oilers, Penguins on Sunday, Predators, Wild, Flames, Hurricanes, Coyotes, Blackhawks, and Islanders, Ducks. I'm not really sure if there's any matchups that I would want to do there. I mean, if the Penguins would actually play some good hockey, Edmonton should beat the brakes off of them. But it looks like the matchups are very one-sided on Sunday. So, yeah, maybe something NFL related where we just do an NFL type of stream Sunday night, just kind of like a hangout, NFL talk type of thing. We'll either do an NFL stream or take the day off. I mean, unless there's like something basketball wise that's worth doing. But did I actually say it? Basketball? All right, we got to 10, 12, 8 more to go. 8 more to go. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X, and shout out to Megan and Mr. Williams to put us in a great position. We're already at $2.50 in donos, not $2.50, but $250 So thank you. Save it. Fuck. No. Nice by Winnipeg. 1-0 Jets. Fuck. Joey did so good. Mark and Vlad. Mark with the wrister. Vlad right there too. Golly. Morrissey at the blue line. Shifley with the goal. 19th goal of the season, a wrister assisted by Vlad and Josh. Come on, Kraken. Damn it. So good. See, even the NHL logo didn't like it. I said, fuck it, I'm going to put the white box behind you. Oh, damn it. We got to make sure that we don't lose hope here. We're only down 1. But we finally got a goal. 7:15 in the third period. Mark. We still got time. I mean, we played fantastic up to this point to give up our first goal, with 48 minutes played out of 60 minutes. So, I mean, what can you say? I mean, Joey did a great job up to this point. Now we just need someone to step up on the offense. Dumoulin, Larson, Yanni, Burakovsky, Tolvanen. I mean, that's what we got in right now. We might need to switch the line and get maybe some of our more offensive-minded guys on a better line to go in, because I'm not sure if you're going to be able to get a goal out of those guys. Maybe we need to find another set, another line to go in. But Tomas Tata, that would be a good one. Matty Beniers, Jared McCann. It might have to be something like that. Schwartz, Schwartzy, Bjorky. We need to get our studs in there. Not saying that Dumoulin, Larson, Yanni, Burakovsky, and Tolvanen are garbage. They're not. But I'm just saying there's a lot of other guys that, could actually get it done for us. So let's cross our fingers and hope we can get it done. All right, let me try to squeeze in a couple photos here. All right, we're already back. I had to wait till a longer commercial. One zero Jets. Come on, Kraken. Defend the deep, release the Kraken. A little Bobby Orr for you. Let's go, baby. I love the black and white. Got that up for Judah. Come on, Dumoulin. Oh, Eberle. That looked like it was like 80 miles an hour. Wide left. Come on now. Kraken only got 14 shots on goal. We have to get to 20 if we want to be able to win this game. We're at 15 right now. We need to get to 20 plus. We need to be very aggressive here in these last 11 minutes. Even if it means that we only get one goal, but then we go to overtime. Go! Burakovsky. Burakovsky and Scheifele collide. One-on-one opportunity. Stoned. That would have been sweet if we could have got that goal right there. Let's put up some Brian May for good luck for Megan. Come on, we need some good luck. Minor on Winnipeg. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Kraken. No, yeah. I mean, he's still considered our backup. So, obviously Grubauer's the starter, and then he, had some physical and mental issues, got hurt. Joey came in, Winter Classic, got a shutout. A few games after that, got another shutout. Then he got roughed up. Grew came back healthy, took his job, and then now they're kind of going back and forth with starts. Like Grew will get 2 or 3, then Joey gets a start. Grew with 2 or 3, Joey gets a start. So it's been really a good combination where we don't have a weakness in the net. At one point we did either with one or the other, but now finally at this point of the season, both are at a point where I think Kraken fans are happy, where we can trust either one in net and feel that we're going to win. And you can't say that at a lot of teams in the NHL. Less than 10 minutes to go. We're halfway through the third period. We're down by 1. Come on now. I got you. Who are your favorite teams, Durham? Who do you root for? What are your favorite teams in the NHL and in sports? And where are you at in the country? Are you in the Midwest? Like I'm here in Oregon on the West Coast, but we got people in the Midwest, the East Coast, the South, and overseas that are in the room now. 25 shots on goal for the Winnipeg Jets, 16 for the Kraken. We need to set up a good one-timer here. We got to set something up at some point. Shoulder save. 80 miles an hour, 80.7 by Tolvanen. And it's like I don't mind Tolvanen, but again, it's like we need to get a better substitution here. Okay, now we got Eberle, Schultz, Yanni, Jared McCann, Tolvanen. Yeah, that's a little bit better. It's like I want to be able to make sure that we have guys that are more equipped with playing each other in these type of situations in the third period, and there's going to be certain guys that are a little bit better on being able to maneuver in the crease. Bjorky, Maddie, all right, Jared McCann, Schwartzy. There's going to be a few of these guys that we need in there. Full strength now. We couldn't capitalize on that. Bucks, Lakers. I mean, they rotate. You can ask Megan, but from game in and game out, I mean, they usually have kind of a set, hack. Usually, kind of has it set. Line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, and then if we're struggling, maybe he'll swap one player from the third line to the first line, and we've seen that a couple times this season. But now we got maybe the strongest. So we got Eberle, we got Tatar with some Tata sauce, and then it looks like Borgen is in, Maddie is in finally. So let's see if this line can get it done. Yeah, I think most of the time Schwartz, I think, is like a second or third line guy. But again, just because you're not in the first line doesn't mean you're not like one of the guys that can, 2-0 Jets. Damn it. I think we might have let this game slip through our fingers. Fuck. Oh, damn it. We were played so good. And then fucking Adam Lowry. Golly. Adam, why? Why are you doing this to me? They're like, we need payback. Golly, okay. Adam, why? You're heading out. Okay, I got you. I appreciate your support to the channel, and we got less than 8 minutes to go, so the chances of us even tying this game going into overtime is probably 5% or less. But you never know. Adam Lowry with the goal, unassisted, 2-0 Winnipeg. Boo! Damn it. And we were 4-1 in the last 5 games. So I thought, we had a chance. We're at home. The crowd is into it. They're engaged. But maybe we needed to be able to fight them and get more penalties, and get more power play opportunities and be a little bit more physical in this game. But again, it was knotted up 0-0 until this period. So tough way to fucking lose a matchup when you're just it's dead even. There's no real advantage for either team. and then the third period comes along, and then you're in the last 10 minutes, and then maybe it was fatigue. Um, but you got to give the credit to the Jets. They're getting a little payback on us right now. NBA is trash, bro. You're the only one that likes the NBA, bro. I can't be doing no fucking NBA. I refuse. It's the worst thing to do. College basketball will be better. Even college women's is better than the NBA. If I'm watching Caitlin Clark, I don't even know how people do it. I mean, I feel sorry for the people that sit through 3 hours of basketball. I mean, 80s and 90s, yeah, you could easily sit through it, but nowadays it's much more difficult unless you actually have a decent matchup and the players are playing well, which it sounds like Sarah was saying with the Bucks and the Lakers. So it sounds like maybe LeBron, AD, and Giannis and Dame are doing something. No WNBA. How are you doing, bro? Yeah, I'm doing this full time, bro. You know what I mean? So I got to make sure that I'm doing, what it's going to be enjoyable. Like some people, they only do one sport or one type of thing. For me, I feel I'm the most versatile streamer that's out there because I can pretty much do anything. You know, basketball, baseball, football, hockey, wrestling, and there's nothing really, we can't do here on the channel. But I can't sit through 2.5 hours of the NBA. NHL is a billion times better, and the thing is, you just need to know who the players are. The more you know, the more exciting it is, for MLB, NASCAR, as well as the NHL. I would rather do those three than the NBA any day. But again, if you don't know any of the names of any of the players, then it's not going to be interesting. So, yeah, I'm ready for baseball too. Yeah, I did it last year, and when the Kraken ended up playing Colorado in Game 7, and then I've been doing it full time, so because during the week, when football is not on, we have to do something, and then after football is over, right, I have to do something, and at this point of the year, before baseball is starting, what do we have to do? We got wrestling once a month with WWE, and it's either NBA or NHL, so I mean, I don't want to make myself go brain dead and be depressed because if you watch the NBA, it gives you depression because that's how terrible it is. But March Madness will be great. And I think Caitlin Clark will be must see TV for Iowa for the women's. And I think March Madness for the men's will be great. And once we get to the NBA playoffs, it'll be a little bit better than the regular season. But again, it's pretty hard to watch. But again, I've been watching, since I was like 3 years old, and I got to see the best of the best. So comparing 80s and 90s basketball compared to what kind of shit show that they put on TV now, it's kind of hard to watch if you ask me. But with that being said, I am going to be going to the Blazer game tomorrow to watch the Blazers and Raptors stink it up. But it's more to go to the arcade at ground control, and then it's to be able to spend some time with my best friend. So. Opening day, yeah. Yeah, I'll be doing Mariners, but I also will be doing Dodgers, and I'll be doing Cardinals and Braves and Padres. I'll be doing a lot, so I'm not going to do just Mariners because if the Mariners have a day off, we have to keep going. So, but we'll figure out, a collab here and there, and we'll figure something out. What's your prediction, Rooftop, for how many wins are we're going to get? Are we going to get 90 to 100, or are we going to be shitty this year and get 80 to 88? Is the hitting going to be better since we got rid of Kelenic and Teoscar and Eugenio Suarez, and we got a lot of these like other guys that are more like money ball players? Is it going to work out? Is the pitching going to be what we think it's going to be? But are we also going to get hits with the good pitching? We better not be hitting 220 or 230 as a team because if that is the case, we're not making the playoffs. If we have the same type of shit that happened last year, because then you're going to have to get 7 to 10 hits and you're going to have to get 5 runs or more to compete. And if that's the case this year, it could be a long fucking year. Yeah, I don't know. My initial feeling is I don't know how good we're going to be. And obviously when you're in Cactus League or you're preseason, and you have the worst record out of any team in Major League Baseball, and you have one win, and then we just got another, and we're at two. But when you're the worst record team, some people say, "Oh, that doesn't matter." It does, because if you remember with Jared Kelenic, he was our only good player last year. And for the first 60 games, and he was like the best player, in preseason baseball. And that carried over. So if we're having a lot of issues, and it's cool to see Mitch Haniger and Garv and some of the guys that are coming back to the team or newbies, do well. And of course, we're not having Julio play the whole game and JP and Cal, and we're not having our starting pitching going the distance. But it's a little alarming on how shitty we've done in preseason. And again, I don't mind losing some games, but you don't want to be the worst team in fucking preseason baseball going into the year. I don't give a shit what anyone says. That is not a good look. So, yeah, it is possible that we overachieve and we win 90 to 99 or 100 games, but I'm kind of feeling we're going to be more of an 80 to 89 win team, but I'm hoping that I'm wrong. Yeah, but I'm not buying the tickets. So it's not like I'm buying the tickets and supporting that. Like I said, typically when I end up going to a Blazer game, people take me for free. And then, and then I usually will try to buy a gift for a kid that's nearby, to kind of brighten up their day. But most of the time we just go there, first to go to Ground Control, which is a 2-story building with arcade games galore, not just pinball, but a little bit of new and a little bit of old. And then they serve beer there, which is nice, and food. And then we'll probably go get food somewhere else, some really good pizza or burgers, and then we'll end up going to the game. And that's just like kind of something that we, extra to do while we're already going to be down there. So, but going in person to an NBA game is different than watching it on TV. Watching it on TV is garbage, but going in person is fun, even if you have seats in the 300 level. It's a different type of vibe. Cruising USA. Yeah, I mean, they got all kinds of stuff. They have a Mario game. They even have games that are like 2023, 2024. Like last time I went there a couple months ago, they had like a Time Crisis like 10, and it had fucking pedals where you can, like, you step on the pedals and it like changes the angle on the screen so you get the enemies better, and it's got all these buttons on the thing, so you not only do you have the gun, but you have pedals that you can use on top of that, and then a huge ass like 60 to 70 inch screen, and there's like a screen on the left, a screen in the middle, and a screen on the right. Like, you definitely can tell that the actual arcade system is like 5 to 10 grand for the setup. But lots of cool multiplayer games, and we usually do like Hang Time and Blitz. We'll do racing games like Hydro Thunder, Cruising USA, Mario Kart, but it's not the old Mario Kart. It's like a high-end Mario Kart from Japan, where it's like the graphics are fucking insane and the screen is big. So, they got all kinds of cool stuff there. And yeah, I'm definitely interested to be able to get over there and to kind of let loose a little bit. So, and usually when we end up going to the arcade, we try to beat a game. So if that means that we have to put in like $10 each to beat a game, we're going to do it. So we've beaten like Ninja Turtles, Sunset Riders, X-Men, the arcade game. So we always go there, with an intent that if we end up, purchasing $20 in quarters or whatever, or 30, that we make sure that with whatever we're doing, we try to beat at least one game before we go. Oh, they have so many things there, bro. It's they have another place in Salem, which is another like 45 minutes away. But Ground Control isn't too far from the Moda, and they got some pretty good food places nearby. We had a really good pizza place that was next door. And then when we went there last time, a couple months ago, it got bought out, and then they turned it into a bar, and they didn't even serve pizza there. So we were a little disappointed. But I did get free alcohol, from the bartenders there. They had like a sample of a bunch of like hard alcohol stuff, and I'm not really big into too much hard alcohol stuff, but every once in a while, I'll have a little bit and stuff, but I'll probably just stick to a couple beers when we play. Well, I wear the Blazers gear. Half of the time I do, half of the time I don't. It depends on my mood. Sometimes I'll wear green apple Oregon Duck top to bottom, depending on because normally I don't wear jeans or like khakis. I wear like sweats. So normally I'll just wear like my duck sweats, like the green apple, and then if I wear that, then I can't really, wear blazer top and duck bottoms or whatever. I have to match. So, but I got a couple old school vintage blazer jackets, beanies. I got some old school jerseys. I got some dames. So yeah, I mean it'll kind of depend on the weather, and it also depends if I want to wear shorts or not. I get hot really easily, so I don't like really to have my arms and legs covered up. So we'll see. But more than likely, I got a nice vintage blazer jacket and stuff. And I mean, I don't like watching it on TV, but will we rooting for this dismantled, shitty ass Blazer team? What's a bottom five team in the NBA? Will I cheer for them when I'm in the game? Of course. So I've been a Blazer watcher and fan, back when I was younger, but I normally try to be able to look for the kids and make someone's day. Try to find someone that really loves, the NBA, doesn't know any better because they're just young, and whoever is having a good time, and if they're with their mom or dad, I'll try to find someone and buy them a gift. Oh, when I'm in the arcade, I'm definitely in heaven. Oh no, this is no Dave and Buster's. I mean, this place has got vintage pinball stuff from like the 80s and 90s. Then they got like new stuff like Stranger Things or like Star Wars. Really, really cool stuff. And then if you're not into pinball, they got Hang Time, NFL Blitz. They got all the racing games, shooting games, multiplayer games, and they even have like beer holsters on every machine. So you can just put your beer in the holster next to the screen, and then you can just mob around. So it's not, on the joystick or the buttons, and then you can just drink if you want to. It's fucking awesome. It's one of the best arcades in the Pacific Northwest. Super dope. Do I do cable? No, well, I usually use streaming links that I trust. And I don't have a cable box in the studio here in the room, but I have one in the living room. But most of the time, I'll just use like a streaming link. As long as if I can end up updating the cable username and password, then I can end up using it through the Xfinity account, Comcast account that's in the living room and whatnot. But usually there's another empty net goal, 3-0 Winnipeg. This is tough. Damn it. But yeah, but it just kind of depends on what I'm watching and whatnot. So if I end up having a little bit of a delay, as long as the game is on and I don't have any issues, you know what I mean? Some people, they can always adjust to me if I'm calling the game, like if I'm a couple pitches behind in baseball or whatnot. But then usually once it gets a little bit towards the end of the game, and if I know there's a little bit of delay, I already got the scoreboard up and I already have multiple screens up. So then I can always call it pitch by pitch when it gets to the end, if I don't have the video that matches what I'm looking at. So, but usually if I have a delay, it's not that bad. It's only like 15 to 30 seconds, which isn't really that bad if you ask me. I mean, as long as the link doesn't crap out. Wow, 32 shots on goal for the Winnipeg Jets, only 17 for the Kraken. It was 0-0 going in, and this one slipped through our fingers way too quickly. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I will, and I will be rooting for the Blazers, and we're playing an equally crappy team in the Toronto Raptors. So there is a chance that the Blazers can win, but unfortunately, a lot of the players that I like to watch, like Scoot Henderson and Shaden Sharp, he's my favorite. A lot of the guys are hurt and they're not going to play. So the roster is going to be a shell of itself. So I don't know what kind of game we're going to get, but honestly, the arcade is really the reason why I'm meeting up with my friend. The Blazer game is just kind of an extra thing to do while we hang out together. So. Yeah, well, we already won a couple days ago against Winnipeg in Winnipeg. We won 4-3 March 5th. So they got revenge and beat us 3-0, but it's all right. It happens. So, yeah. Well, again, there's streaming links, that are out there, that you can use. There's Sports Surge and Stream East and some of these other ones. to use, because what I've noticed, even if you have cable and you're going through, TNT, watch TNT.com through your cable provider, and you think, oh, I'm going to be live, just like watching it on a cable box. But sometimes it's still got a delay. Like I actually did ESPN.com through the cable provider that I have, and it still was delayed. So sometimes, when you have a link, it ends up being delayed. I think the only thing that I've used that doesn't have a delay, I have this like Abu Dhabi, like Saudi Arabian, like link right over like in the Middle East, and for NASCAR. And that link actually is sometimes even ahead of my cable here that's live. Like I ended up watching the NASCAR race, through the Abu Dhabi, like Saudi Arabian or some kind of foreign, overseas, and I was watching the link on my phone. Then I went out to the living room, and I noticed that the living room where I actually have the cable box was behind the link in Abu Dhabi, which I thought was a little weird. How is the link in Abu Dhabi faster than what I'm paying for, through the cable box? But, again, you never know, but I guess that's how it goes. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Big shout out to Mr. Williams and Megan coming through to make sure that we're going to have a successful stream. And let's go through what we got here. I appreciate it very, very much. See if I can scroll up to it. But it all started off with a nice $100 dono. Your boy is always grinding, hustling, so it doesn't matter, if it ends up being NFL, college football, NHL, MLB, NBA, college hoops, AEW, WWE. Like I said, I feel that we have the most flexibility to be able to do what we do. And plus, I'm going to make sure I have a safe place for people to take care of mental health. So it's more than just sports or wrestling. It is a big part of mental health as well. Mr. Williams with a big hundo, Megan with a 50, which I appreciate that very, very much. And then just when we thought that we were possibly done, no, Mr. Williams with another $100 dono. Big day, $250 day, which is huge, which definitely makes up for any day that we end up having a $0 day, a $5 day, a $10 day, or a $20 day. So I appreciate you guys very much. Rooftop will definitely collab. You, me, Jay Trident, or just you and me. We'll figure it out as we get into the Mariners. We'll both be rooting for them and talking about them. And I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. So shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X. Shout out to all the people that are watching in the room. Shout out to Sarah, Matt, Rooftop, Dude Durham, everyone that's out there. I appreciate you. Judah as well. And no stream tomorrow since I'll be at the arcade. I might end up posting something through the Blazer game or at the arcade or the food. And then we'll end up streaming on Sunday, probably NFL or NHL stream, depending on if we want to do NHL or an NFL kind of free agency, NFL stream, tampering season, and all that. And then we'll go from there. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Final score, Winnipeg Jets 3, Seattle Kraken 0. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Enjoy your weekend, and I'm out. Gang.